Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the live stream where we are making a Android game, Tower Defense. Last time we added uh, a reward queue to give players some rewards for completing each wave and did some upgrades in the game logic, such as the player cannot purely block the paths for the monsters. Then I've decided to split my to-do lists into two lists. And the first one I'm calling now a cool to-do list. I will put things that are more interesting in any way, and might be visual things or sounds or something interesting. And then I've got a boring to-do list of refactoring tasks and not so pleasant or interesting topics, which I would like to do offline so that it's more attractive to watch while streaming. This doesn't mean that we will avoid all the boring stuff while live streaming, because as usual I might stumble or hit a roadblock and I might just figure things out as I go, so there will definitely be some uh, unavoidable boring parts. So what I have completed meanwhile, between the last stream and this stream, I've finished this task that we tried last stream, but I've given up, sort of. So now I've finished it offline. It's pretty much the same. I just changed the logic a bit. Now the towers itself are picking a target instead of being assigned to them. Looks something like this. There's a method. It's pretty much the same as it was, but now it's handled by the tower itself by providing a list of monsters. So it gets a list of monsters and just picks one or none if none's valid a target. And this gets called for every tower on a map. The other thing is a event for the wave of monsters finished. So whenever like a player finishes a level, this event triggers. And yeah, that's there. So before we just changed the state where the monsters are dead. Now instead of just switching the state, we trigger this event on wave end. And this gets handled in the play state by this method currently. Everything may change in the future, be reminded. And this method does it, of course, changes the state, but it also resets all the towers on the map, meaning we can take a look what it actually does. It like clears the cooldown. If the cooldown would be something really high, this might be an issue if we weren't resetting it. but we do now, so this is not an issue anymore. We clear all the projectiles just to be sure, and only now we clear the target. So instead of doing it on every frame, we do it just when the reset hit. And also when selecting a target and none of them is valid. So that's the other maintenance task, sort of. And very little change, but visual. I've added a background frame for the reward selection so that it's easier to see the options, like this brown rectangle. It's dynamically sized, so depending on how many rewards there are. Hello, Tim. I know the school is on again. Dropping by to leave a thumbs up and a comment. Thank you very much. Love your support. Feel free to, of course, watch later and leave your suggestions in the comments. Thank you. Good luck at school. So that's the last change, just adding this border for the rewards to be slightly easier to see. And that's all the little changes I did. I'm gonna commit them now so that we've got like a clean slate for anyone who would like to start off from this point. So there you go. Okay, it's up in the repository. And for today's, let me clear our deck. Let's pick from the cool to-do list now. I was thinking reward penalties. For now, we can see that when the player picks an option, it's all positive stuff, as plus like increasing the monster count by 1. But that shouldn't be like automatic. I wanted to add like penalties for each option, meaning if you pick the first one, the tower, this would maybe increase the monster count by 1 or 2. If you pick 3 walls, the penalties would be different. And there's a third option, a tower plus a wall. This would be also some penalties attached to that. And again, all those options will be randomly generated in the future. So for now, I would just add like a monster icon for each option that says like, hey, if you pick this, the monster counter will rise. Okay, so how would we do that? I'm again gonna just reuse the same icon as we did for the towers and stuff. So that's gonna be hero. We also need to rename this. But let me remind you again, all the graphics are temporary placeholders for now. Don't be afraid, the game's not gonna be that ugly. So for the rewards, we've got a list. Let me quickly add a item on the list that the reward can be. Let's call it a monster. Like this will add a monster to the monster count for the next wave. For the reward factory, Do we need to change anything? Sure, we need to load the texture. So for the monster, actually gonna be a hero. Right. And this will stay the same. And all of these are okay. Reward item doesn't need any changes. Reward option. I think we are good to go. We just need to change the logic for the reward state that will process the rewards. We've split the logic into two states last time or one before that. First, we are gonna assign the reward, like pick one of the bundles. That's in this state. Select reward, and this will proceed to the process rewards, which is there. And there's the place we need to handle the monster case. So in case the rewards, so-called, the monster, we're just gonna increase the monster counter. I believe it's monsters in a wave. Like so. And also I would like to remove the logic that adds one monster after each wave, because they would be redundant with this. And I have no idea where we put this. Somewhere around. We maybe look for this. Or is it somewhere in the end? No. Oh, hello. Hello, me and Mr. Mustard. Hello again. Welcome. So we are somewhere increasing the monsters in a wave counter by one after each successful wave. But I need to find a place where. There, right? Okay. That's the place. It's the place I don't want it to happen. Because now it's gonna be part of the rewards itself. So it's gonna be somewhere in there. And now we just need to add those penalties to the bundles. And it's gonna be somewhere in the reward manager. Those are the current 3 static bundles, but again, this will be randomly generated in the future. For now, I'm just gonna add the monster. So 1 for the tower, 1 for the 3 walls, and I'm gonna add 2 for the combination. If you pick a tower and a wall together, it's gonna cost you 2 monsters for the next wave. And this should be it. Okay, let's try. While it's building, let's plan ahead. The next task could be a minor visual change. Last time, I think it was, we've disabled for building the top and the bottom row so that the player cannot block like the spawn pawns or the goal ends. There shouldn't be a monster icon in the selection screen, just the text saying how many monsters the reward would add. Yes, yeah, it could be. It's just that the well, first of all, it seems like it's working, and I kind of like it. It's visual, and it's not just a number. If it will add like 5, you will see a 5 guys there instead of like a little number 5. And they will be adding like different things. It could be like different kind of monsters or a specific boss monsters and stuff. So it's not gonna be just a number. It's gonna be like very concrete things. So this should add 2 monsters. Let's try. I'm gonna place a tower and a wall, and we've got 2 monsters. Okay, cool. Now we are at 3. I mean, the monster counter could be visible while placing the towers. Yeah, of course, sure. I mean, all gonna be part of the fancier frame, like, and differentiate, like, this is the option 1, this is the option 2, this is the option 3. Don't worry, I hear ya. It's all gonna be there. It's just really not that hard to be like figured out first. Okay, so this seems to be functioning. Now the top and a bottom row isn't a valid placement for the tower. Yeah, I'm clicking there. I cannot place the tower there. Neither the bottom row. It's also not possible. And I would like to change the textures for these tiles to reflect today. Let me add those tasks that we just mentioned in the chat. Like add like reward option labels. I don't know. Is it a cool to-do list or boring to-do list? Would you like to be part of this task? Should I do it? Should I do this like on my own, offline? Hello, George. Nice to see you too. At least online. Right. So I prepared the texture. I've just graded out a bit. As the standard. That's the grade out. Again, this is just a placeholder graphics. As you're mentioning, it could be like that's a colleague from work, or used to be. I've changed jobs. Could be a rock texture. But let's just use this placeholder for now. It's gonna be easier. I need to edit the content. That's this, and I'm gonna immediately do the other one. This is just, again, a slightly different colorization of a monster if we need to like try out a different type of monster. So tile invalid. I think it's somewhere in the tile factory, right? Okay. Do I need to change the tile type, or do I want to just have a different texture on the same, like, yeah, I think I'm going to make a separate thingy for this. How should we call it? I'm gonna just make it invalid for now. We can rename this anytime. And that's the tile invalid. Okay. Invalid. And we just need to adjust the factory. Looking at the factory, it's not the nicest code. I mean, this kind of structure, but I'm gonna accept it for now. Okay, and additionally, we need to set the block, no, not the block state. No, I think that's all we need, right? So we could actually just use the grass type, but let's keep it separate. And now in the map construction, we need to somehow tell the game to use those tiles instead. So where are we making the tiles? It's there. And it's there. So we're gonna do yeah, that's possible. I've thought about this, but in the end, I just want to keep them separate in case in the future I would like to like add more changes to the types. So I'm gonna leave it split. It really doesn't matter. But the other thing I'm thinking is whether I should add like a flag to the tile. Similarly as the blocked state, like, is it buildable on there? Can I build on this tile or not? I mean, it's something else than blocked, but and just use that. Well, we can come back to this later again. So let's say that let me see, it's somewhere already, it's this. So I'm gonna just copy this if statement because it's gonna be the same. And I hope the y is the correct axis. So it's if it's the top or the bottom row, we're gonna okay, we're going to do the invalid tile. Otherwise, it's the standard grass. And that should be it, right? I think I'm gonna add the flag for the buildable or not, because it's already sparks an idea. Yeah, I understand. Thank you. But I'm thinking instead of checking it like this, I'm gonna add a property. I'm gonna call it buildable. And this is gonna drive the ability to build or not instead of the position itself, because I could add some kind of effects like the monsters could temporarily block some tiles that you can't build stuff. Yeah, this opens up like possible future features and strategies. So let's do that, and let's refactor a few things then. First of all, it's gonna be this, and instead of the position, I'm gonna say if it's not buildable, it's gonna go off. And now we just need to properly set the buildable flag. And it's gonna be for the grass tiles. So something like this. Instead of block, it's gonna be buildable. Yeah, right. And looking at the code, okay, this will need some refactoring. Let me put it on the boring list, and I'm gonna do it offline. Come up with something smarter than a lot of if statements. So the grass is going to be buildable. Otherwise, the default value should be false. So the invalid tile is not going to be buildable. And inside the map, we've already handled that. Okay. Oh, this should be it. I've got a list of ideas for quickies, but I just currently am not at the right, let's say, time and place to focus on those. I should be up and running next month when I move. Yeah, so then I'm gonna have more mental capacity and time. The one that I wanted to do next is like a custom project template. It's not only like game related, but you can use it anytime you're doing like a .NET project. So let's look at the results. The top and the bottom line are with different textures, so it seems like it's working. Let's try the building thing. So clicking there is working, clicking there it's invalid, invalid. This is going fine. Okay. And hello, Ty. Evening, right? It's 6:30 p.m. where I am, so you are right. It's getting late. And now we're in the placement state, right? Let me add the monster counter while I'm here and I don't forget again. So need something like this, right? Like so. Okay, Netherlands. Let me quickly, no. Okay. So this is working. This is oh. Don't need this. Okay, so we've got the reward penalties. I'm gonna call it down because basically the game logic was already there. It's just using the same, and it depends on us how we use it. That's why I tried to do the system so flexible at the first place. It's gonna be super easy now to add more like variations and stuff. It's gonna be really easy and quick to add content to the game. And we've also done this. And I might just rename it to like tile buildable property. I don't know whether this was that cool, but certainly it's done now. Okay, what next? Do you have any requests, any ideas how to proceed? anything from the list or anything you can come up with. I'm just gonna rebuild once again just to verify the latest changes. What's on the list? We can add a monster type. That would require, again, I don't know whether we have already some kind of factory for monsters or not. Does spawn monster work? We don't, we're just instantiating a monster class. So we could do like a monster factory and monster types. This is something we will certainly need. And just give them different properties. We can do like tower upgrades, like a better damage, better range. But that would need some UI. There's the monster counter and it's on. It's still 0 because the tower reward is before the penalty for monsters. So this gets resolved first. So it's in this state it's still just a 0. I don't know. Should I like do the penalties first? Oh, doesn't matter for now. It's okay. Okay, cool. So who do we pick? I think we need the monster types. We can't avoid this. So let's start by creating a folder. Okay. Let's do it similarly to the map tiles. So it was like the tile factory. I'm just gonna copy this. And let's go. So monster factory. It's gonna be a dictionary of, and we need a list. So I'm gonna call it monsters. It's gonna be something like this. I don't know the names or what actually the monsters will be. So I'm just gonna put some random stuff or what we have for now. I'm gonna do a ninja and white ninja. because that's all we have for now. And we need to load the textures. And the dictionary is gonna be monsters, textures, monster textures. Yeah, monster 1 and monster 2, that always works. Okay. Let's do it like this. Ninja. Red ninja. And it's actually called a hero boss. Hero. So this is gonna return the proper texture by the type. The create monster type. Okay, and now it's gonna return a monster. Let me do this slightly differently. I'm gonna say monster. It's gonna start as null. Return a monster. And there we just go on. Okay, right. So if the type is ninja, let's do new. What are the monster needs? It needs a texture and a position. Oh, we need a position. We need a position. Position. Okay. That's the texture. Gonna be this. This. And a position we will have to provide. All right. Then, what are the properties of the monster? It has health, speed. Gonna make this public. Speed, health. That's all, right? Speed and health for now. I mean, they will have some special effects later and other properties that we come up with, but for now it's just the health and a speed. Is it public? The health is, and the speed is now 2. I am going to delete these and I guess also the default values. Or I'm just gonna leave them just like a fallback value if something goes really wrong. And let's see. So max health is 3 for now. It doesn't like. Okay. It's not private. Health be the same. Okay. Why is it not liking? This is the initializer. You can't use the values in the initializer, I guess. Really? Okay. If I do it like it's okay, right? Okay. Didn't know that. So, the health and the speed. Let's keep it at 150 for now. So that's one type. And again, this is not the architecture I'm satisfied with. But it's okay with like just 2 types of monsters for now. So let's make him a bit stronger. Okay. And now we are getting back at the task called wave generator. That's something we're missing still, and we're gonna miss now. Because even though we can say like next wave should have like 5 ninjas and 1 red ninja, we don't currently have a way to generate such a wave. So that's like this task we need to do. And I think we need to do this first. It's like a prerequisite for this. This is okay. This is ready. We can test it with the small ones. Okay. So we should create a monster factory instance. Okay, read only a monster factory. It's loading the textures. So we don't need this. So we don't need this. Let's instantiate. And then somewhere in creating the monsters, we're gonna instead use the factory. Yeah, that's here. So it's gonna be monster factory, create monster. We need the type. We're gonna use the ninja. And now we're colliding with this name. So I'm gonna rename this. That's the current list of the monsters in a wave. So I'm gonna name it monsters in wave. And we need the position, that's boss. Now we don't need this. So that's our monster created by the factory and added to the wave. Okay. Okay. We need something else. I think that should be it for this. And as said, if we want to properly generate different types of monsters to the wave, we need some more sophisticated way of doing this. One, and it gets generated with 3 HP. Well, it seems okay. Okay. So this is working. Put it on a done list, even though it's just like a really minor basic origin stuff. But It's a start. Now it just has to grow. The wave generator thingy. Okay, so first of all, we need to like store the monster types that we've acquired so far that needs to be part of the wave. And it's gonna be something like, instead of monsters in a wave being an integer, it should really be a list of monsters, or at least monster types rather. I'm gonna redo it into a list monsters and initialize it. Oh, hello, Fernando. Glad you like the tutorials. Drag and drop and resize interfaces. Resize interfaces, you mean the canvas stretching with the render target? That's something I'm using here in this game as well. Don't forget to adjust the input. Ah, okay. Cool. So we've changed the integer. Thank you. Leave a like, leave a comment. You know the YouTube stuff. So how do we handle this now? It's gonna need some refactoring. Okay. So first of all, instead of I'm thinking the number it was showing at the bottom not gonna be that relevant now, right? Just the count of the monsters. It's an information, but it's a real difference if it's like 5 bosses or 5 goblins. But it's true, you can see the real types right on the game board, right? So it's at least something. But we need to change it from this, because that's the list. We need to add the count of the list, right? Like this. It's gonna be at more places. Okay. So and this is of course not valid too. Here we just need to add to the list the correct monster, but what is the correct monster, right? Let's revise the rewards or rather penalties list. So one's gonna be a simple ninja, the other's gonna be a red ninja. Is it like this? Hero, hero boss, okay. Do. Right. And now in case it's a ninja, yeah, this is gonna need some refactoring too. But let's keep the little switch for now. This is gonna be handled in a better way later on. Like this. And what's wrong there? Okay. So let's say for tower it's gonna be a little ninja. For the combo of tower and wall, let's add a bigger. Then for spawning the monsters and starting a wave, we will send the list of monsters. So this is gonna be a list. Monsters. Okay, where are we? There. Okay, this is gonna need some serious rework done. Kind of forgot how that works. Oh, welcome back. Okay. So first we need to spawn the monsters with those types. We kinda need to do a wave generator. We've got the monster types. We are currently redoing the monsters in a wave. It's not gonna be just a number now. It is a list of monster types that are part of the wave. And we need to like refactor all the stuff around coming from this change. Basically now spawning the monster wave. As before, we just used a number and a counter for the number of simple monster type 1. But now, having like different types, we need to like generate the proper types and spread them across the lanes. So first, generating the monsters, we are sending the list of all the types that counts. That should be part of the wave. So let me recall what all that code is doing, because I don't remember that well. So first we are just spreading the number between the random columns, aka lanes. So I think I'm gonna redo the monster queues as well. It's not just gonna be a list of integers, an array of those, array of list of integers, but the array, which is like per lane, a list of monsters. So this is initializing the array. That's like 8 lists of monsters. Okay. Then this is initializing the lists. So we've got the X number of lists ready, or queues, lists. And now we need to fill them somehow. Okay, getting there. So I think first I'm gonna push this down there, because first we need to generate the, I misspelled something. Where? Which one? Oh, there, right. Thank you. There too, right? Okay, thank you. So now creating the monsters from the list of types. So this is the list. So we should definitely go through the list first. What's this doing? It's going through the queues and generating the monsters for each two at the right position, right? If I recall correctly. So first of all, let's do a list of monster. I'm gonna call it current monsters. And I'm gonna add to this. So it's gonna be for each, let's say, like this. Let's do M in there. Do I have the factory there? Right, cool. Okay. Can spawn the monster. The spawn monster method works for the column and a row. Can I use this? Maybe not yet. Or or can I leave it as it was? And then just pull from the list of types there. So I'm gonna definitely add the monster type there. Do it like so. So I can spawn this type of monster at this column this far. Okay. So I think I might get away with just using ints there, right? So all I really need from this is like I don't know. All this is used for is like spreading the monsters randomly into the lanes. And now I'm thinking, do I need to know the monster types? I mean, I kind of don't care what the types are. I just need the number to be spread randomly. So now I'm thinking I could simply do just a array of ints. Those will be the counters. And then just reduce the number. Okay, I'm just gonna try. I might just revert everything back. Well, let me try this. I'm just gonna do like this. Let me rename this to monster lane counter. And now we'll rename this to fill monster lanes instead. Instead of clearing it, I'm just gonna set it as 0. And when we want to add to this lane, I'm just gonna increase the number, meaning how many monsters should appear in this lane for this wave. This is okay, this is okay. But we need to... Okay, the input parameter is just the total count of the monsters in a wave. And that should be like, okay, why not? Okay. So when calling this somewhere there, we put it on top. Instead of this, I'm gonna just use the number of items in this list. And this should spread the wave load into random lanes. Okay. Then I'm not gonna be needing this. Then I'm just gonna go through where I need to go through the each lane once and spawn wherever there's like a counter left. I'm just gonna start from the beginning. We'll see. So first of all, I need to go through each of the thingies there. Like so. And this all's gonna be encapsulated in another cycle dot. It's gonna be something like if and this is int, right? Right. This is bigger than 0, meaning there's a monster slot. Let's call it a monster slot in this lane. Still empty. Let's add a monster in this lane. but I don't want to use the for each for this because I need the index. I think I'm gonna be better off with the for cycle. And let's do it like so. So if the counter I is bigger than 0, let's spawn the monster there. And this is needing the monster type. And a roll. The roll is gonna be the like how many times we've run through this. So let's do something like this. And I also need a pointer to the monsters list. I mean, it would be better off as a queue, but I'm gonna use the monster count. Okay, so monster, let's call it just simply monster counter. And this is gonna be raised anytime we spawn new monster. And so the type is gonna be this. The current monster from the list spawned in this lane this far. Once we do this, we move to the next monster in the list. But now we have to repeat this until the list is like done. Something like while monster counter is less than monsters count. This is like it's first one, it starts at 0. Let's say we've got 5. It's gonna be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this should be okay. But also we need to like break this cycle in here because we don't want to finish this 4 cycle if we've already used the last monster. Do just simply something like I mean the same. And if the count is 5 and the counter is at 5 means we've done them all. Then we're just gonna break. And this should end and it should be all cool. So this is replacing all of this, right? Should be the same. Okay. Right, looking at this, I was doing it the other way around. I was spawning the whole lane first, then going for the next one. But I think it's better to do it like in rows, because then like the earlier, easier monsters will come first. And it's like another question whether we should somehow randomize the order for the monsters in the list. Is there some kind of shuffle in the list? There isn't, right? We will have to like code our own. That's just sorting. Is that the opposite of sort somewhere? Shuffle? It's a shame. Reverse. Okay. Okay, and so this should do the trick. And spawning the monsters. First, we're gonna randomly assign like a monster slots to each lane, meaning how many monsters in each lane should appear. And then we are like filling them row by row with the monster types that we have. At least I hope it's what this does. Okay. Thinking whether there's something else we need to change, but I think it should be all. Let me try the build and it's gonna say what it doesn't like. So this would be the wave generator, so called. In here. Okay. Okay, so game loaded. There's no initialization bugs. It's cool. We can see the red ninja here in the third option. Let me start with the simple one. It's, let's say, randomly assigned to this lane. Let's place another one. Okay, let's do those. And if we pick the red one, yeah, cool. And this one has more health and is clearly faster. Okay, cool. I think it works. Again, first try. Yay. So that's the monster counter. We're at 4 simple ones, 1 red. Cool. And I should put somewhere like in the placement state an indication what's being placed, because when I get this multiple selection, I might not be sure what's now on the list. Am I placing a wall or tower? It's a tower. So let me add it to the boring stuff. Something like this. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just show the image somewhere at the bottom exactly. Okay, perfect. So I think I'm gonna mark this. Oh, I already did. Cool. Should I do this right now? It's on a boring list. Is there something simpler that I could do in like 20 minutes? Tower upgrading, definitely not. That's gonna be a big task. Same goes for the tower stats. Trying to decode the message MVVM UI. What's MVVM? Oh, is the W? Sorry. Is that monster wave? Yeah, UI, but for what? Okay. Model view model. Not experienced in this. Hey, this will require like more. I properties for the monsters. Right, me neither. Yeah, the UI needs a lot of work. What do you suggest? Okay, so let's quickly add like a text saying something like pick your reward on top of there somewhere. It could be fairly easy. We've already got the font. I'm just gonna reuse this. And as the draw monster counter. Let's do something like draw sorry, Thai. Again, no idea what this word means. Let's do like a draw custom label for now. And let's do it like a string message and the position. No, it's definitely not the check. So we're gonna draw the message, this position. But now I'm thinking, should I center it? Should this mean like the center or top left corner? Are the overloads for the string? Yeah, it's some mystery language. Do we have? There's the origin. Let me just not bother with like figuring out the exact position. Let's just place it somewhere. Oh, let me see the screen again. You know, this is like 64, so that's 128, 192. So let's say 192. So draw custom label. Okay, and let's do this while in the reward state. Yes. Yeah, I know I can do this, but I didn't want to bother with that now, and don't want to like put mathematics in the draw methods as well. So I was wondering whether I should like get the correct position and provide it instead of leaving it the draw custom label. So I think I should just do it prior to that and then provide the correct position already. PQR. Okay, and now the position is gonna be private const to okay. Right, and there I would like, and of course for like translation purposes, but that's really the least of the things I wanna think about. I should put some keyword there. Let's do it like this for now. And there I could calculate the position. But I'm thinking whether I want to now or not. It could be something like, well, right, I don't have the font there, right? I need the font to measure the size. I could do something like a helper method there. Whether it provides float or integer. Oh, not there. The wrong place. I wanted the UI manager. And it returns vector 2. Okay. So now I have the dimensions of the label, but this will require a lot of thinking now. So you just need to get the width of the whole screen, and I should already put this somewhere because I needed that number many times, but I keep like calculating it from this. Let me put it on the boring stuff. To-do list. I like display or game area dimensions constants. Okay. Then, yeah, sure. We know how to calculate the position. It's just tiresome, let's say. So it's gonna be map size x map tile size. That's the size of the screen. And of course, all of this is in a new vector 2. That's the x we want to know. And for the y, let's go with 192. So that's the size. We're gonna subtract the width of the tag. So that's this. And now we have to divide this by 2, right? Something like this. Is this correct? I think it is. The screen size minus the string length. The division is there. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, this should be okay. Test the label. And right, okay. Hopefully. I mean, this is not even like a changelog worthy, just a minor addition. You know it's there. Oh, there we go. Seems centered. I think it's all right. The font isn't the prettiest. The spacing is weird, but there's nothing I can do about it other than picking a different font, I guess. Or we can later on change it into a sprite sheet with letters and generate it. Or I think this is just gonna be a part of the overall background image. Something fancy. So here we go. Cool. be like a better distinction between the options. I mean, that you intuitively should recognize that those columns are like the options. It's gonna be like graphically diverse. Okay, cool. I think this is gonna be the last task for today. We've done a lot of great things. Thank you for being here with me, helping me, advising me. What can we look forward next? I'm really glad we finished the wave generator. This is really important because now we can easily like add different types of monsters, and that's the other thing we did. So those two tasks were like the main focus for this episode, and they are really, really important. This was fairly easy, but also important. So yeah, thank you again for staying here with me. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what other features we should focus on. What any cool ideas how the game should work, what are like the nuances and new and original ideas are always appreciated. So I think next time we should focus finally on like looking at the stats of the towers we currently have, some UI for that, and the ability to like highlight the tower, select it, provide the UI to interact with the tower, meaning seeing its stats, what's the damage, what's the range, and also the ability to upgrade the tower. But we have to like first come up with the mechanics of what it's gonna take to upgrade the tower. Thinking now, it might be one of the reward options, just hey, instead of building one, let's upgrade the other one, and it's gonna be a lot better now. So could be part of the rewards. I want to like do more or add more properties to the monsters. One of the things is like a flying monster that ignores all the maze we're building and just goes straight through. So that's a difficult monster, but should be easy to implement. Like a one-time consumables, again, could be one of the rewards. Hey, there's a magic scroll you can use one time once you are like in a trouble, like cast a fireball that damages everything in the white area and stuff. And more properties for the monsters, like this monster is resistant to fire. This tower does fire damage, so it's not gonna hurt it that much. Yeah, so great things ahead of us, a lot of work. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it, because there's gonna be a plenty more live stream before we finish this one. But that's it for now. Thank you and see you next time. See you soon. Bye bye.